log, March 3, 2020. We're getting ready to leave the slavery and exit the Babylon. Come out of her, my people. And I feel like Satan is throwing logs our way, literally. Trying to discourage us, trying to stop us, I guess. But hard to believe he would be so unwise thinking he could manage that if God already purposed to take us out. So what happened is a couple of interesting things overall. I mean, there is a general sense of discouragement and fear that we went through. It seems to be mostly defeated now, but it was irrational anxiety feeling, worry about the future. No specific words were spoken or whispered or came into our heads, but we just had this general fear of the unknown of the future, knowing that it would be so much easier in the short term. It was an illusion, but it would be so much easier. That was the fear talking to us to stay in Vancouver. But of course, we already bought the house. Everything is arranged. The Lord already is taking us out. But after those irrational fears and anxieties and just a sense of dread almost of going, how are we going to cope? Where are we going to get the money and so forth? And who are the giants in the land over there, and what are the mountains to defeat, and so forth. After all that, I lost the ring, which was very strange. I just woke up one morning at the end of February, and I'm sitting by the couch, I'm touching my finger like that. This is a different thing. And my wedding ring is gone. And it was on my hand for 14 years. Since we got married and never taken down. I never took it off. And suddenly at night it slipped off. Maybe when I was taking a shower before. I had been very stressed out with the fears, and I've been going through some headbutting with Artemis and some anxieties at work, stress at work, at Art Umbrella. And I was taking a shower, and maybe it slipped off. But anyways, in the morning I noticed it was gone, and I don't understand how and when the finger slipped off the wedding ring slipped off my finger. So that's one. I believe that was done. That's one explanation to show us how important our marriage is, not to lose it. Because in this stress, we started arguing with each other, me and Raquel, because it's just hard. So, it's the two of us, and we started taking it out on ourselves, on each other. And guard the marriage. That was guard the marriage. That's one message. Another possibility is that the devil wanted to make Raquel attack me, that I took it off intentionally, that I don't care for the marriage or something like that. Luckily, my wife passed that test with flying colors, not falling for the line, knowing that I love her and God put us together. So that was passed. Then when we're driving to Langley to pick up the hitch, which is the most important implement, save the tractor, for our gardening work, on the way back with the hitch, there was a log. That's the log that the devil literally throws under our feet. There was a log on Highway 1 just before Surrey exits. And I saw it in the last moment. It was 20 meters ahead of us, and I was going 100 something. It's a highway. So in the last moment I swerved, but it was in the last moment. If that log got under our wheels, it would have seriously messed up the car, the suspension, something. It was a pretty hefty chunk. It was not a plank. It was a square 4x4, I would say 4x4, 4-inch by 4-inch piece of wood, about 1 meter long. And I didn't see it, and Raquel didn't see it, and we saw it in the last moment. I just swerved. Praise the Lord, I was able to avoid it. And then when we came back with the hitch, it turned out that they gave us the wrong parts. Everything was wrong. The whole order was just ridiculously wrong. What we received was the hitch was missing. It was in a repackaged box. It wasn't the original Brinley box. It was missing screw bags, and it was missing one metal part. The guy gave us 2 boxes though, and he made it look like the second box has small boxes with screws and other necessary attachments. But the other box, it had 13 boxes with computer USB drives, which was the messed up order. USB drives. There were 52 of them. And according to my ad hoc calculations, they would be worth about $7,500. At least $5,000, counting $100 per one USB drive. But these were nice. Seagate, 4 terabyte. The shipping got totally lost. It was supposed to be shipped to a company in Richmond, ended up at John Deere, and the guy gave it to us. So of course, that was like a temptation of the devil to take the drives and keep them for ourselves. Nobody would know. Nobody would even know where they disappeared. I could have had 50 USB drives. That's a little too many. A few too many. But you can never have too many USB drives. I'm actually, at this time, I'm working on the new computer. I'm transferring files, and my drives are filled up almost. And I was going to buy a USB drive, but then I don't want to spend money too much. So I didn't buy one. So I'm cleaning files, compressing the video files, converting them to smaller resolutions so that they take up less space. And I'm deleting duplicates and just playing endlessly with the computer to save space. But if I kept these USB drives, I would have had 52 USB drives, almost endless storage till the end of days. So I believe that was the temptation of the devil to make us stray, because I've been reading so much Deuteronomy. I'm studying the Old Testament about Exodus. I finished Exodus, now the book of Numbers, now I am in Deuteronomy, and I'm actually in Joshua now, but I was in Deuteronomy at the time, and I was trying to see, what does God want us to do? What exactly, how do we live to ensure that we are worthy of the land that He is giving us? We don't want to die in the desert or be expelled like the Israelites, but we want to please God. So I've been reading that. And number one thing is to just, live by His law, not to break His law, to be honest and so forth. And one of the things that I also know from posting my videos about the Old Testament for Christians is how to love your neighbor. When you see the donkey, and that was one of my main stories. When you see the donkey of your neighbors walking around in your meadow, don't just ignore it, don't take it, but bring it back to your neighbor. Bring it back. Finders keepers is a lie. There's no such thing as finders keepers. You find it, you don't keep it. You give it back to the person who lost it. If you don't know who lost it, then you announce it, I guess. But when the Israelites, they lived in a village, they knew whose donkey got lost. And you're supposed to bring it back. That's love in action. So somebody lost those drives, and we had to give them back. The temptation was there. I mean, if I wasn't a Christian, I would have probably kept those drives. Come on. But that never happened to me. I mean, how unlikely is that USB drives end up in our sleeve hitch order at John Deere? The guy that I called at that computer company in Richmond, he didn't even know what John Deere was. I said, we went to John Deere and they gave us the wrong boxes. And he said, sorry, John what? I said, John Deere, the tractor company? No, never heard of it, he said. So, these unlikely, very strange things are happening to us. Losing the ring, a log on a highway. I never saw a log like that size on a highway just in front of the car, showing up suddenly as if it popped out of the asphalt in the last moment. And God saved us from that, but that was dangerous. And if our car got wrecked. And then who finds 52 USB drives in their sleeve hitch order? So these are the supernatural, unexplainable, explainable, I just explained them, things happening to us as we prepare to leave for New Brunswick. Praise the Lord, the day is near. In about 2 weeks we will be going, 3 weeks, almost a month. It's March 4th today, and we're leaving at the end. March 25 maybe. And coronavirus is spreading, but it's hard to tell how much of that is hype, how much of that is Illuminati, a panic, trying to create havoc. Although Alex Jones is also saying that it's going to be bad and he wants to sell his food supplies. It's hard to find the truth, but I believe that in God's timing, we will leave just in time to escape this.